What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode today of the My Player Career Mode. We're into episode number 45 today for you all, and most importantly, this is another episode featuring 4 games, and we also have one of the games coming up for you all is going to be in the Champions League against Saint Etienne. So, as I said, we've finally made it to the Champions League knockout stages where we're going to be seeing one of the games of the 2 legs that we play in today's episode. So, hopefully you're all excited for that. Thank you so much all of your support on the last episode of this series. As I say every single time, you guys are incredible. I really appreciate all the likes and stuff that you guys give me. It's crazy to see. So again, massive thank you for that. So let's get started with today's episode. And I saw a comment actually in the previous one that was actually saying about Ronaldo being 86 rated. Remember, we are getting a little bit further into the series now, a couple of years down the line. So there are going to be some of the better players in the series that will be declining, the likes of Ronaldo. Benzema as well is now down to an 84. You know, we're going to have this happen. So, I mean, for now, I'd say Ronaldo is still good enough to play in the side. Of course, the signing of Aubameyang, they've got Aguero on the bench. I mean, just look at the Real Madrid bench. The fact that they can bring on Aguero and Aubameyang off of the bench is just crazy. Crazy. So, let's get started, as I said, with the first game of today, which is actually going to be Las Palmas. Now, if you remember back, the last time these two sides faced each other, Las Palmas did, in fact, end up with a 90th minute winner to steal the points from that one. So, at the Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid hoping to not have a recurring theme here against them and looking to get redemption, I guess you can say. As Ben on the left-hand side finds Ronaldo, his cross is exquisite towards the back post. The man on the right-hand side wins the header, but sadly for Madrid, it comes back off of the inside of the post, and they couldn't get the rebound as we go into half-time. So, one chance in that first half, but it was a very good one as well. Great turn from Ben in the middle, finds its way through to, I'm not quite sure who was playing up front, it might be Benzema, as I said earlier. And then 60 minutes in, Ben on the ball again here. Great work as he gets towards the byline, whips in the right-footed cross. Ronaldo finds the man in the middle that I think was Salvio in the end. And, like, what on earth was that? Like, to have the audacity to even try this, I'm not sure I would have thought of doing this if I was a professional footballer, but I'm not, and that's why he is. I mean, listen, I'm not going to say that that's a bit of a risk, because at the end of the day, it's worked out, but how stupid would Salvio have looked if that had gone straight through his legs and he wouldn't have been able to touch the ball in? I mean, he doesn't even need to do that. Like, all he's got to do is hit it left-footed, and it's going to go in. There's no one marking him. He's got no reason to even try it. Like, I don't know. Anyways, luckily for Madrid, it worked out because they then led the game from that goal. But 87 minutes in, again, Ben on the ball. Great turn once again. Finds a pass this time off to Casemiro. He realises his options were closing in. Gets another turn of the same man who was marking him, and this was a recurring theme, as I said. Gets through, should score. Great save from the goalkeeper. But Ben again, you know, he missed a couple of opportunities in the last episode and the episode before that, and that one again is a missed opportunity. He should score from that. So, slightly disappointing that he didn't. But luckily for Real Madrid, Salvio's goal, which was a little bit of showboating, did actually make the difference. And they did get revenge on Las Palmas for the defeat they handed to them earlier on in the season. So I guess you can say it's job done for Madrid. It wasn't clinical, it wasn't fantastic, but they did the job that they needed to do. And Salvio kind of steals the headlines away for that game there with a stupidly audacious just flick. I mean, as I said, if that hadn't have worked out, he'd look so stupid. But luckily it did, and Madrid take the points. One thing to note as well, guys, I want to say, I have been seeing, of course, that you guys want more kind of cutscenes from GTA and more storylines and stuff, but the truth is, if I do storylines every single episode, we're not going to get through the season that quick, to be fair. So, I mean, I don't want to make it completely, like, storyline orientated, where something is happening every single episode. So, for the first kind of, like, series of this, because I've not done them before, I wanted to make it so there will be a kind of storyline behind it, but me just trying stuff out rather than, like, you know, delving deep. Because, like, I don't want to have a situation where we're only uploading one of these episodes, like, every 4 days or whatever, because I'm working on, like, making an extra storyline for it. You know what I'm saying? So I completely understand where you guys are coming from, but I also want to make the series like I did last time, in the aspect that I make it so we are playing through the seasons, getting quite far in, and actually having a professional footballer's career to the point where Ben isn't just playing 2-3 seasons. He's actually playing 6, 7, maybe 8. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the aim for the series, I guess you can say. But as we're moving into game 2, away from all that stuff, we have got a massive game on our hands here. Madrid 2-0 down after the first game against Villarreal. If you remember to yesterday, or whenever the last episode was out, it was a very strange one. And basically, guys, they need a massive performance here. Otherwise, they will be heading out of the Copa de Espana. And luckily for them, 23 minutes in, they got the first opportunity. Rashford finding Gareth Bale on the right-hand side, and he opens up the scoring to make it 1-0 inside 25 minutes. So for Real Madrid, it was a dream start. And as I said, they need a big performance here. They're 2-0 down on aggregate. That brings it back to 2-1. So a nice early goal gives them around about 65 minutes to work with here in order to try and find a second to send this to extra time, which is going to be the aim, I guess you can say. They had to kind of fight back in the last one. Was it against Espanyol when they went a goal down, whereas this time around they are actually losing the double leg at the moment. So still work to do, even though they did get a nice early goal, and it came in the second half, the next chance. Ben on the ball, 55 minutes in, looks to find Rashford on the left-hand side, gets it back from him. Good little turn, hits his strike goalwards, but he got it all wrong. And sadly, it went wide of the post and not in between the sticks, which is what he needed it to do. And then 57 minutes in, he finds Aguero here in a really good position. Aguero fighting another teammate and eventually goes to the right-hand side. And somehow the chances worked out all the way through to Ben, who again turns his defender, but can't hit the target with the effort goalwards. So, yeah, disappointing because he's been Mr. Consistent. Real Madrid have been able to rely on him, and he's had 2 shots here that he hasn't even hit the target with. As we move into the 90th minute, great turn, finding Marcus Rashford here. And his shot is very weak and tame, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper there. And that was the way the game would end. So, although Real Madrid might be on a high flyer, and although Ben is playing unbelievably well at the moment, they're out. They're out of the Copa de Espana. And that's now going to be Villarreal moving on to the final, who will face either, I think, Atletico Madrid or who was the other one? Valencia, I think it was. Yeah. So they're going to be facing one of those two guys, and Madrid are out. And that's not a great thing to see because, I mean, it would have been kind of nice for, Real Madrid to get through to the final, Ben potentially to pick up the Copa de Espana. I'm sure there's going to be another chance where he can get to win it, but I'm sure as well it would have been nice to see a Real Madrid final with potentially Atletico Madrid getting there as well. So we don't know who is going to win between Valencia and Atletico Madrid right now because those games haven't been played, but it doesn't matter. Has no relevance to Ben whatsoever because the disappointing game against Villarreal, the first leg, that is what cost them going through. So yeah, disappointing. But they move forward anyway, guys, because they're still in the league and they're still in the Champions League. And if we're being honest, are Real Madrid really that bothered with the Copa de Espana, considering the fact they have a shot at winning the league and the Champions League? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're used to winning a lot of trophies, in which case then probably, but I'm sure Ben will be thinking and looking at the Champions League, maybe thinking that he has a real opportunity here with this Real Madrid side to win that. So that's probably going to be the aim for the season, I would say, as Salvio again starts up at the right midfield spot ahead of Gareth Bale. Of course, no Marco Asensio, as he did leave the club in a previous episode. So he looks like Salvio is getting the nod a little bit over a few of the other guys here. And the first chance in this game against Espanyol took 7 minutes to appear. Ben, lovely ball to the right-hand side, finds its teammate, gets it back from him as well, turns that defender like an absolute mug, tries to curl one goalwards, and it turns good for him as well. But it does take a deflection. Now, whether or not the deflection is what takes this into the back of the net and beats the goalkeeper, it can be debated because it's not like it's a major deflection which sends the ball going an opposite way. It touches the defender on his head, you can see there, and the keeper then can't quite react quick enough in order to get his right hand up to make the save. And that is the goal that separates the two sides inside 7 minutes. And as I said, you can say the deflection is what beats the goalkeeper, but would he have had the goal covered regardless? I don't know. But that now takes Ben into 10 league goals for the season, which is just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So moving into the 17th minute now, and I guess you can say this game for Real Madrid was more about proving a point, you know. They were frustrated at not getting through against Villarreal, so they wanted to smash a team left, right and centre. And when you scored twice in the first 20 minutes of a game, and when Ben's got them both, that looks like it's going to be the case here, as Espanyol seemed to just crumble. I don't know what happened to them defensively. They were just falling apart in these early minutes here. And again, Ben, to his credit, has to take this one. He has to do a little bit of work when he gets the ball here. He does that defender, and then just about with the right foot, squeezes it past the goalkeeper into the bottom corner. But full credit to him. He makes the finish happen. And again, I don't know what happened. Espanyol's defence just seemed to crumble under the pressure here. So, unfortunately for them, they were met with the Real Madrid side that before that game against Villarreal were in great form, and after the game had a point to prove and were very angry. So it looked like it was going to be one of those days where Espanyol were going to be on the receiving end of an absolute thumping until that effort there hit the crossbar. I was so disappointed to not see Rashford on the score sheet. If that had gone in, that would have been a great goal as well. 56 minutes in though, Salvio steals the ball off the defender, finds Ronaldo. Ronaldo looks to find Ben. Ben, a lot of luck on this one. The pass does go through to Marcus Rashford via a deflection, and it's then in the back of the net from the young Englishman. Whether or not that'll be an assist, I think he does get credited with this, but I don't know. I wouldn't have given him it because it did take a massive deflection in order to get through to Rashford, who still had to beat the defender. And he does that and then fires it into the bottom corner. So with 30 minutes to go, it is Real Madrid 3, Espanyol 0, and they've not really been in the game, which is disappointing to say the least. But for Real Madrid, they are certainly proving the point that they were out to prove, which was just to smash another team and say, hey, it was just a one-off against Villarreal. We weren't on our game in the first leg, and that's the reason we're out. But you can bet your bottom dollar we're going to be on the game for the rest of this season. Now, Espanyol did have a couple of chances to their credit. This one, very close, but a good stop from the goalkeeper, denying them what would have been, I guess, a consolation goal at this point. And it was a very good save, in all honesty. But 76 minutes in, Ben on the ball again. This is brilliant. He turns this man here, then turns another one after that defender just leaves him for some reason. And then curls an exquisite left-footed shot into the top corner to get his hat-trick. What a finish that is from the young man. And the thing is as well, when you're 3-0 up in a game, you can try stuff like this. You know, you can try to beat defenders and then try and curl one in from the edge of the area. But that is also a hat-trick goal. What a way to seal a hat-trick as well. Another curling effort. This one does not take a deflection on the way through, and it will completely go to Ben and his class. But yeah, 3-0. Zidane loving that one. It's 4-0 now on the, I guess, overall score. Hat-trick for Ben. I think I just said 3-0 before that as well, didn't I? I mean, I'm stupid. But that takes him on to 12 for the season now. 3 of them coming here today. I mean, again, great hat-trick, I guess you can say. And it pretty much did the job for Madrid as 7 minutes to go. Ben on the ball again, tries to find his teammate in the middle, which is Cristiano Ronaldo. And when Ronaldo's in that position, he's just not going to miss, is he? So, again, a lovely work goal. Ben was playing at a 10 match rating after this, and it just was one of those days where he was too much to handle for the Espanyol backline. And as I said, they crumbled because they couldn't keep him out. I mean, again, look at this. Just way too much space for Ben to pick his pass out. And then full credit to Ronaldo with a finish, because that isn't easy. To fire it into the top corner like he did, that's world class from Cristiano Ronaldo. So moving into the 90th minute now. Again, Espanyol looking for one more opportunity for a consolation. Baptiste gets through here. Should square it across the face of goal. Decides he wants the plaudits by grabbing the goal himself after doing the defender. But it's a good save from the Madrid goalkeeper, and it wasn't going to be a consolation for Espanyol. So, yeah, for them, a day to forget. But for Real Madrid, what a performance. Straight after getting knocked out of the Copa de Espana, disappointingly, they then do this to Espanyol. So they're saying to the rest of the league, yeah, that was a one-off. So, as I said, you know, good performance. And Ben with a hat-trick, he gets his match ball. He doesn't really get many hat-tricks, of course, not being a striker, but he has got one today, and that's one thing that is good to see. Again, though, Madrid totally dominant. They never really were out of the game. Espanyol didn't really create a lot to cause danger. And when you are boasting one of the best defensive records in the league, it's going to take something pretty spectacular to beat it. But, as I said earlier, we're going to move into some Champions League knockout round gameplay, and I can't wait for this. I've been waiting so long for Ben to make his knockout round debut, I guess you can call it, because he's already played in the Champions League, in the group stage, of course, but this now is where it matters. The knockout rounds, you have 2 legs, very much like Real Madrid did against Villarreal, you know, in that crumble that they had. So, again, they need to play well over both of these legs here in order to go through. And there's some interesting draws, let me just say that. There's a few teams in there that are quite tough, and a few teams that you might be thinking, if Real Madrid do go through, will cause them a problem later on down the line. But they've got to get past Saint Etienne here, and that won't be easy either, because although they're probably one of the weaker sides within the knockout rounds, they're certainly here for a reason. So we can't really write them off yet. And Real Madrid's side is a very strong one. Bale, Aguero and Rashford starting up top with Wood, Isco, Casemiro in the midfield. So chances should come thick and fast for the Madrid lot. But whether or not that's going to be the case, we'll have to see if that is going to be the case. Now, as we got the game underway, Ben was really looking forward to this game. But he started off badly. He gave the ball away there to Saint Etienne. And then in the 28th minute, they created an opportunity from it. I guess Ben kind of was just thinking he could do his little tricks and fancy stuff, but that just shows him that actually, if you do it and you get caught out, it is the Champions League, mate. You know, it's gonna be quite easy for teams to score against you if you are doing stupid stuff like that. So he's decided he was gonna do his tricks further up the field. It worked out on this occasion because he finds Rashford, who gives it back to him, and he just keeps a calm, composed head in the middle of the box in order to slide that past the goalkeeper with the left foot of his, and he finds the bottom corner, which is exquisite. Like, look at this. He gets the ball, one touch to set himself, second to finish. Ruffier can't get near it. Stroke of half-time. Madrid have the away goal. They are also leading by a goal to nil, and it is the best possible first half that Madrid could have probably asked for. So, yeah, Saint Etienne a bit disappointed with themselves. They did have a chance earlier on, of course, which they sent wide 28 minutes in. But Real Madrid, you can't give them opportunities like that because they'll take them every day of the week. So Ben on the score sheet again, as he has been doing a couple of times. And that should now hopefully calm Real Madrid down for this second half. And 51 minutes in, Ben on the ball again here. Finds a nice ball through to Rashford, who thought that he had made Madrid's lead by 2 there, but couldn't quite find the back of the net. It came back off of the post. Now, Bale stealing the ball back here, 75 minutes in. Ben on the ball here, gets to the byline. We've seen this a couple of times. Looks to try and square it across the face of goal. And, I mean, the odds of that happening were just so unlucky for Saint Etienne. Like, to get the lead and then to score a second like that, I would have much preferred if it had been a screamer. You know what I'm saying? But you take the goals as they're given. You take the goals when they come. And that is just so unlucky, as I said. The defender does everything he possibly can. The only thing he could have done differently there was to try and slide and possibly put it out for a corner. But then it goes underneath Ruffier, and that is just, yeah, it's just one of those things that happens, unfortunately, for the defender. But Ben, again, he has an impact on the goal, and it is a very good one as well. And that then sends Madrid into a 2-goal lead with 2 away goals ahead of the second leg at the Santiago Bernabeu still to come. So we'll see if Madrid can make it through within the next episode that you guys will be watching. Other than that, guys, that is how we're going to end today's episode off. Apologies for not uploading yesterday on the Wednesday. My throat's a little bit hurting at the moment, guys, and you can probably tell from this video. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this regardless. If you did, a like would be greatly appreciated. As always, thank you for your continued support on the channel. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, and you want to see more, make sure you hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button. Also subscribe if you haven't already. But it gives you notifications every time we upload a video on the channel, usually at 4 PM UK time every day. I will catch you all again from tomorrow, 4 PM, for the next episode of the My Player series. See you all then. Adios.